Let's be honest, there's no guidebook when it comes to relationships. So we end up having to stumble through life trying to figure things out for ourselves. What if there was a podcast that found the answers for you, that provided insight to build a successful relationship and ultimately find the companionship you've always hoped for? Welcome to the Girls Ask Guys show, where we answer the questions most people are afraid to ask when it comes to lessons in life and love. It's time to master this thing called life together with your hosts, John and Ashley.
And welcome back, all you gangsters, to, of course, the Girls Ask Guys show. And we are slowly but surely peeking our heads out of the house, and we are finally getting back to real life, which means we are getting back to real topics, real issues that concern you, the listener. So if you are familiar with the show, my name's Ashley, and
my name is John. I'm the other half of this whole thing.
Absolutely. And so today we're going to be talking about something that I think is important, John thinks is important, and most importantly, something that you really want to know. And it's, what do guys find attractive in a girl?
Yeah, this has popped up all over the place. This happens to be in the dating realm, one of the most searched for and asked for questions that is possibly out there. And there are thousands of articles all over the place. Everything from wear red to something that it actually gives substance and actually answers the question.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, if you want to read 40, 50 pages worth of research material.
Yeah. And I just want to put a disclaimer out there. Clearly, there's no absolute answer to the concept of what do guys find attractive in a girl. And there's obviously, everybody's different. So before you guys go getting on the I Hate Ashley and John bandwagon and they're anti-feminist, they're misogynist, we're not. What we're going to do is give you some research that we've done, but also our own personal opinions. Like I said, there's no concrete answer, obviously. What you find attractive in a woman may not be what I find attractive, or may not be what John finds attractive. So we're just going to give you the basics of where attraction comes from, you know, the eyes, the ears, the nose, the mouth, all the rundown.
Yeah, and there's no, like Ashley said, there's no one definitive indicator that says this is what this particular guy finds attractive. It's going to vary. And as we go through this, you're going to see it does vary.
Very much.
And just another small disclaimer, we are not any kind of psychologist we don't have fancy letters behind our name. So.
Nope. Ashley Sanders, high school graduate.
Yep, and I've got a PhD as well, plain high school diploma.
Look at that. Like, we're, so as you can tell, we're very learned at the craft. But really, John's been studying this longer than most of us have been alive. I think he's going on his, 70th year, right?
82nd.
82nd year studying about dating. I am a young ingenue who's only been in the world for really 10 years. So, no, but really, we are learned individuals who have really put a lot of time and effort into the dating world and, just learning all about what it means. So when we tell you these things, they are all research based.
Yes, all of this is research. And we do have an article that we posted on the website. Very easy to find. What do guys find attractive in girls? There you go. Go to the website and it sits right there. But we are going to go through this and we're going to go piece by piece. And we're going to start with the actual physical attraction, because this question can be divided up into two different ways. You have the physical side and then you have the non-physical side. So we're going to start off with the physical side. And this, we're going to go all the way back to 1854.
Yes, I remember it fondly. That is when I was first learning how to put on real shoes.
Yeah, I think they actually came out with left and right shoes around that time.
That was what you remember? I remember. We were wearing real shoes at that time. Yeah, so let's talk about it. What happened, man?
Okay, so really this whole thing, it comes out and it blew up all over the net. It went into social media. The media picked it up and everything else. And this is when the movie, The Da Vinci Code, came out. Now, inside the Da Vinci Code, Dan Brown really included the phi, P-H-I, not pi, the phi formula. And it's supposed to be the most beautiful number in the universe, some weird crap like that. But this came out from a German psychologist named Adolf Zeising. I think I pronounced that right.
Yeah, it's Zeising. Yeah.
Okay. Well, he wrote a book called New Teachings on Proportions of the Human Body. And according to the phi formula, if you took something and you divided it up by this number, I think it's 1.608 or something like that, he actually goes through and he says, if you have these proportions, you are considered beautiful to everybody and everything.
Now, I want you to think about what's happening in 1854, like historically. And I don't even think we had quite mastered the idea of using the restroom properly. I don't think there were a lot. Yeah. I think there were a lot of things that we weren't doing, and somehow some man decided, you know what, I'm going to write a book about how you can be attractive.
Yeah, I'm actually going to study trees and find this number in there, and then I'm going to look at the leaves and look at the veins inside of that. Then I'm going to look at the human body. She was actually
people were really bored.
Yeah. Well, there's no TV, there's no internet, there's no smartphone.
They didn't have Netflix. Yeah, that's true. You didn't have Netflix to keep you distracted.
They didn't have electricity, so everything was...
That's what I'm saying. Like, don't you think you should have been thinking about other things? But I mean, I guess you love what you love, you know?
But he wanted this thing to become like a universal law that determines beauty in all things. And he was making connections where connections really don't sit. Okay, fast forward to Dan Brown Da Vinci Code. This thing blew up and people went absolutely apeshit. Businesses were actually built. You can go out and look it up on the net. If you take my health program or if you join my gym, you will have the perfect phi body. Bullshit.
Wow.
It's an irrational number.
Yeah, right. Like, that's what I'm saying. This is the most irrational thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
No, I mean, actually, literally, the number is irrational because it's an odd number.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it's that's what. Okay. You can't win.
Yeah, you can't win. It doesn't matter. You can do everything you possibly can, short of going in and having a surgeon trim down your bones or actually add artificial bones to hit phi, and then even then, it's still going to be off.
It's ridiculous. It's like, okay, I don't know what it is about the name Adolf and the word perfection, but there's clearly some sort of pattern here. Like, not a fan.
And it went even further because another professor out of Stanford University, he jumped on this thing and he researched it, and he had huge study groups and large numbers of people that he tested this number with. He said, okay, look at this and tell me if you think it's beautiful. And they went, no. And he said, okay, well, how about this shape? How about that shape? How about this shape? And he just kept going through, and all these shapes that are supposedly beautiful according to the human eye, it didn't matter. They actually preferred non-phi shapes over phi shapes.
You don't tell me people would rather like even than irrational.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Right, like the phi of the beholder, actually, man. Because apparently, I don't understand how this is even like something we study. I know that sociology, psychology, and all of those things are important. I just cannot wrap my mind around somebody sitting in the 1850s saying, "You know what I'm going to do today? Let's go study this." It's like the Fibonacci sequence. I think it's so ridiculous and asinine. But I mean, I guess there's some merit to the concept of symmetry.
The symmetry, the perfect body shape. What is beauty? People are looking for, is this beautiful? Period. To everybody. Right. I mean, I want to look beautiful to everybody.
Yeah,
it's not possible.
I do, but that's just me.
Yeah, so ladies, the narrow waist, the wide hips, the hourglass figure, and all that stuff that people say you have to have, it's bullshit.
No, it is complete bullshit. I agree.
Yeah, we have actual, clear, empirical evidence. According to one guy that said, this is how you get a perfect body, and this guy over here that said, over 4,000 people said, that's not what they consider beautiful.
Right.
So all that went out the window.
See, before I wonder if, like, you know, if we redid this, and we'd have to do it on a much larger scale, because 4,000 people cannot represent America properly, considering that
Well,
we're in
actually,
like the
it was an
hundreds of millions.
international study, so it actually crossed
That's even
over several.
worse.
Well, there's other studies that actually go along with it. It's just that he kind of led the main study that actually branched off to other studies. I can
The
go
hot
in and
movement.
I can list the other 42 studies that I looked at, but I figured this is the one that kind of set it all off. So if you go research him and then you go look at all the studies that he referenced that also look at the same thing, you get a wider audience. I just didn't add it up. I didn't have enough time.
No, you don't have enough time. You should not have enough time to add that up. So let's jump right into it. So apparently there are lots of men who admit they like big breasts. Obviously, I mean, duh. You know, like
Yeah.
and I think there's a
Actually, most guys are just happy that you have it. So-
right. I was going to honestly say, but I think there's a larger portion of men who just like boobs. It's not even really about the size. I mean, it's like, can I grab those? And yes, if you can, then it's cool. And once again, we're not trying to make anyone feel bad if you have little boobs. Like I said, most men just really dig boobs in general. I know, like, as far as evolutionary, you know, boobs, larger breasts make women seem like they're more likely to be able to carry babies and feed their babies more, which we all know is complete scientific bullshit. But as far as appearance goes, bigger breasts are something to entice men. If you are a man, I would encourage not just staring at them all the time.
Yep. And there was actually another study that actually proved guys don't really watch them all
That's
that
a
much.
bullshit study. I'm calling bullshit on that study. That's a bunch of lying ass men trying to be like, we're
No,
not
actually-
that gross.
No, actually, it wasn't. They really couldn't lie because they actually hooked these guys up to eye tracking software that actually tracked the pupil of the eye and then set, let's just say, sexual images in front of them and watched where their eyes tracked. And most of the time, it tracked towards the
Their
face.
thighs, I imagine? Oh, really? Wow.
Yes. Yeah,
Ooh.
actually, they spent more time on the lips and the chin. Those were the main areas. Now, it does change.
How long did they show these images? Because that's
Uh,
another question.
They actually looked at single image for 1 minute before they switched to another image, and it was a total of 25 images. Now, they also did the same thing with women. And
Women are
women, you
gross.
spend a lot of time looking at the man's groin area.
Yes, because you know what? Here's the thing, and I will say this. Boobs cannot be really left up to the imagination.
True. But, I mean, guys are fancy with boobs because they don't have them, and women are interested in guys going because, well, they don't have those.
They don't have, exactly. It's like, what is going on down there? And it's not necessarily perverted, though I will say most of the time it probably is. Even with boobs, it's okay. We're human beings.
Yeah.
We're sexually attracted to other human beings. But
Yeah.
yeah, women are perverts, and I will accept that.
Yeah, and they also did switch it up because not only did guys look at sexual images of women, but they also looked at sexual images of guys. Guys really didn't pay that much attention to the other guy. But he did stare at the other man's chest because guys tend to
Chest
look at...
envy.
Yeah, it's chest envy. I mean, oh, well, he's more of a guy than I am because
Right.
he has a wider chest than I do. Yeah, so...
And that's a very weird statement, but it's so true. Men do have real chest envy. Like, for some reason, you'll notice, like, guys with big chests are never really afraid to show them. Guys with little barrel chests are not, you know, into it. And guys with flabby chests are very, you know, let me keep my shirt on. And I think that's such a funny way for men to kind of establish their manhood, their machismo. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
your chest. I mean, like, it's just, I get it. You take your shirt off, you want to flex and all that stuff. But, like, I don't know, maybe work on those teeth. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Well,
shave
there's
your
also-
beard symmetrically.
There's also another part of this study where they found that women actually pay attention to the waist area of other women more than, and it's kind of like
Waist
Ooh.
envy's real, boy.
yeah, they have better curves than I do.
Yep.
I guess that's what, they didn't really go too far into depth on that or the explanation of it. It was just like, this is what we found
No,
also.
it's true. waist envy is very real. A small waist is usually associated with a beautiful woman. So like you can be busty on the top, busty on the bottom, and then have that 18, the 26-inch waist, and that's where people really start to feel some sort of envy, because it's an hourglass figure you want. So if your waist isn't the inside of that glass, or the curves to the glass, you know what I mean? So I'm sure that's where that comes from. I mean, you notice waists more also because you want to see how skinny they are. It really it shows you how thin somebody is. Because like I said, they could be huge on the top, huge on the bottom, and have a really thin waist. And you'll be like, God damn it, that's beautiful.
Yeah. Damn it, I want that.
Right. Oh yeah, like that perfect hourglass figure. Something that
like
most
guys,
women
they
want.
want that more reverse triangle shape between their shoulders and their waist. So there's that whole chest envy. He looks more manly than I do. And I guess with the waist, women are like, she looks more feminine than I do.
Right. It's very feminine. To have a small waist is incredibly feminine. I mean, even when we go back to, the olden times when they had the corsets.
And that was another thing that they found was that women tend to be a lot more, what's the word? They tend to be judgmental or critical of how women should look than guys are. Because guys, we're just like, does she look healthy? Is she proportionate?
Does she want to sleep with me?
Yeah.
I think women are taught to be more critical of themselves and of other women. Like women are literally raised to look perfect. And I know guys are raised to look a certain way too, but there's a difference between the dad bod and the mom bod, where as you get older, men start to become almost seen, and not necessarily, but seen as more attractive as they gain more weight, as their hair grays out, as all that stuff happens. But women, as you get older, you have to do more shit. You have to get Botox. You have to do a bunch of shit.
Yeah. And that's really not from a guy's perspective. And we'll get more into that part as we get through this, because that also comes up. But there is one little part of this, and I kind of alluded to it earlier, where guys' eyes actually focus. Now, they will kind of, when they're looking at somebody as far as a romantic partner, they will actually look into the eyes first, then it goes to the chest, and then they drop down to the waist. Now, for women, what they found was that if they find a person as far as a romantic partner is concerned, it goes eyes, lips, and then their arms.
Yeah. Women do love and butts. Women like butts, too.
Well, actually, that was further down on the list, but the top three, as far as the percentage of where they looked, it was eyes, lips, arms. And as far as percentage of time spent on any particular body for guys, it was eyes, chest, waist. Now, for both guys and girls, if they are considering you more as a friend, their eyes will go more legs, feet. Which is kind of, I was like, wait, what? And
because they don't find you attractive, so they're not looking at the things they find attractive, they're just looking at your feet.
Yeah, they're just kind of their eyes drop down towards the ground. So they're not really spending a whole lot of time looking you in the eye. Their eyes can they'll look in the eye and then they'll go legs, feet. So if you see their eyes going legs, feet, you're like, shit, I'm in the friend zone.
Shit. Yeah. So here's the solution: cut your feet and legs off. She has no choice but to look at those arms, and you're like, and I guess that's probably why guys, they don't do, that's why they have those scrawny ass little legs and those big ass arms when they work out, because women look at your arms.
Yeah. That's just where the majority of the time where the eyes go. Now you could have more of a butt fetish or calf fetish or whatever, but generally that's where the eyes attract. Okay.
Yeah, yes. I can see that.
Yeah. And that was with both men and women. So that's, as far as your body is concerned.
Don't be ashamed.
Don't be ashamed of it. Guys are pretty much looking, are you proportionate? And do you look healthy? That's it.
Right. It's not even, yeah. And most women are just saying, like, are you strong? And I think that comes down to women wanting a strong man to be able to take care of you. So if you're, proportionate, you're good. If you're strong, you're good. It's that simple. And, if you are a person who's like, I don't look like that at all, that's okay. Trust me. Like, when we say this is literally just
these are broad brush strokes.
Exactly.
Because even when they try to get very, very detailed into, okay, is this what everybody finds stress? They couldn't answer it because there was no definitive answer. Everybody was all over the place. They couldn't say
we all have
5% of the population, 10% of the population. They couldn't do that. It was like individual. So this is really as good as it gets. And these are the most recent studies that are out
there. Yeah. And just don't, like I said, and I can't stress this enough, don't think too hard on this. And we're just giving you what are like studies, and these are so broad that there's no definitive answer, but we're just going to give you some of the other stuff. So then we talk about what other physical attributes?
Yeah, the other physical attributes, the ones that really come up. And as far as, okay, the majority of guys, what is it that they're looking for? Because obviously there is no definitive answer on your body type. That's really up to the guy. You just want, are you proportionate? Are you healthy? That's it. Mm-hmm. Okay, for the other thing, as far as makeup goes, this is like all over the place. You can read about it. Guys are posting all over the net about it. They prefer women who have more of a natural look than that kind of plasticky,
heavy,
heavy makeup.
Like very dolly, very and it's almost such a contradiction because makeup is meant to enhance your beauty. You know what I mean? And so when people pile on makeup, they cake on makeup because they like to, not even, they're trying to enhance it. And some people just genuinely love makeup. I mean, and if you love makeup, we will never tell you remove your makeup. There's someone out there for you. But I mean, it's so funny to me how makeup was literally designed to enhance beauty. And now it's gone so far out the realm of enhancing beauty that people are like, listen, I just want to see your fucking face.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I know that when I was in the Marines and I would go to the Marine Corps birthday ball, or any kind of formal function where I'm wearing my dress blues. Now, dress blues, the Marine Corps is really the only service that actually tailor fits your uniform to your body. So you fuck that uniform up and you got to go buy another one. The uniform itself is about $300, or at the time it was about $300. And then you had to have it tailored on top of that. Fucking A, that's expensive.
Right.
And especially when you start adding on the chevrons and the hash marks and all the other crap that goes on it. Okay. Nothing annoyed me more than when I would go out on the dance floor with a date and she would lay her head against my shoulder, and when she lifts it up, I've got a bunch of makeup.
Yeah, makeup on it.
And that shit doesn't come out easily. And then you're like, wash it again, wash it. Now the uniform isn't proper color. Go buy a new
one. No, you're getting a bill. I'm gonna send you a fucking bill, dude, because there's no way in shit I'm spending $300 every time we're going out. And makeup is so funny because if you do makeup correctly, you don't have to put a lot on. Now, if you're like a drag queen or something, obviously CoverGirl don't cover boys, so you got to take that shit on. But really, nothing like a quick little foundation to kind of make your skin look a little clearer if you're struggling with acne, and some eye makeup, and that's really all you need. I mean, lipstick obviously if you want it, but if you're really, people want to see you.
Right. And really, they're not saying don't wear any makeup. When they did comparative pictures, and even when they did this with a cross-section of both men and women, both men and women found the most attractive photo that was shown, and there was one with no makeup, a lot of makeup, and a reduced amount. 40% less makeup across the board was the most attractive look to both men and women. So just 40% less. You don't have to get rid of all of it. Just tone it down to about 40%.
And don't get rid of all of it. I mean, like I said, the whole
shit's
goal is for
expensive.
you to be you. Yeah, makeup is so fucking expensive, dude. Oh my gosh, I can't even fucking imagine. Like, I've seen women spend upwards. I mean, we even watched it on Love Is Blind. She had like a makeup debt, and
Yeah.
and it sucks. But I mean,
Yeah, and really, with the really heavy makeup, and this was a completely different study that I just kind of ran across going through and taking a look at this. This kind of blew my mind. Heavy makeup applications actually make you look less human.
duh.
Okay,
Nobody looks like that. That is my biggest pet peeve with makeup is I can't stand the concept of somebody looking perfect because guess what? You're not fucking perfect.
Well, not only that, it also led to more objectification because a plastic object cannot have feelings or emotions. That was included in that study. They found that this person really doesn't look like a person. They don't have the human traits. You can't see the small intricacies of their facial attractiveness. So it's easier to objectify it because of the heavy makeup application.
Yeah, that's a very deep thought. I never really thought about it like that, but yeah, you're right. I mean, you look like a robot. I think you're a fucking robot, dude.
Well, that was in that study. So I was like, wow, okay, I can kind of see that.
Right, like it's something you never think of either, and that's kind of what these studies bring to light. But I mean, it's wild. You know, it's a wild thought.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care about a doll. I'll kick a doll across the
doll
yard.
in the fucking mouth. Yeah. I don't give a shit about Barbie. Fuck that plastic bitch. Yeah. I guess when you say it like that,
figure and everything.
Yeah,
else.
all that shit. Anatomically incorrect bitch. Like,
exactly.
Yeah, I've never thought about it that hard, but I guess when it really gets down to it, that's probably true.
Yeah, I mean, it was a big study. So I mean, they kept tracking, and oh, well, this raises this question, so let's answer that one. Oh shit, this is what we found. And I was like, damn, okay. But but then we go even deeper because a lot of women are like, do blondes have more fun? Is it long hair or short hair?
That's a marketing ploy. Oh dear God, ladies, listen to me. You're natural, and this isn't even the study. I'm just going to tell you this because I care about you as people. Your natural hair color is probably what you're going to look the prettiest as. People who dye their hair obnoxious colors, I get it. You're quirky, you're whimsical, you're fun. You also look weird because your hair is orange. Just thought you should know that.
I mean, some of it looks okay. I mean, have one hair color and then, I don't know, put the pink stripes, the purple stripes. I mean, some of that is actually kind of...
Yes.
It's just a little bit different. It's like, oh, okay. And there's nothing wrong with it. But your natural hair color actually matches your skin tone.
Mm-hmm.
Just something to kind of keep in mind. But if you're a brunette and you want to become blonde because you think blondes have more fun, contrary to popular belief, the study we found says that brunettes are more preferred.
Yep, and that's actually a very common thing that people tend to not recognize, but it's absolutely true. People love brunettes. Blondes may have more fun, but brunettes get shit done.
Yeah.
Boom.
And according to the study, why do blondes have more fun? Well, there were several studies done with this, and I read all three of them. Pretty much all three of them came to this exact same conclusion. And this was international studies, so many different countries. Okay. The blondes got approached more than anybody else inside of bars, clubs, coffee shops, whatever. Wherever they were, they got approached more than the brunette or the redhead. And when asked why, well, the men said that blondes tend to have a more positive attitude. They're a little bit more approachable. So the fear of rejection in the guy actually went down.
That's ridiculous. That is all Hollywood marketing right there. Okay. For years, we have been pushing the blondes have more fun thing. For years, it's been about
around since the 1950s.
That's what I'm saying. We're talking Marilyn Monroe. We're talking like even before that. I think Mae West was a blonde. We're talking blonde bombshell. There was a whole you never heard of a brunette bombshell movement. You know what I mean? So that's just and I'm just thinking in recent terms why blondes were said to be like, whimsical and ooh, cutesy and happy birthday, Mr. President, more sexy. So
that actually is one of the embeds that the guys learn because of all of that. So they tend to have that mentality when they see a blonde. But overall, they do prefer brunettes because they are seen as more emotionally stable. Again, this is all stereotype stuff.
Great marketing, dude.
Well, that's what we include in the article. I mean, this is all stereotype nonsense. Okay, even in the studies, they say this is a stereotype.
Blondes have more fun, man.
And redheads have the most difficult time of all because nobody
loves them.
Yeah, the redhead is stepchild. And, yes. Redheads have a negative connotation attached to their color of hair.
And then South Park with the whole redhead gingers have no soul thing. Like, I mean,
exactly.
Redheads really were, and like.
So now going out and changing your hairstyle from redhead to brunette isn't going to have any kind of major change. It's not going to change anything.
No, it's not. I'm sorry.
See, because even all of the research, all of it says these are stereotypes, and it has really, when it comes down to it, it has absolutely zero bearing on whether the guy finds you attractive or not. There's redhead. I like redheads. So he's going to talk to you.
Right, exactly.
I go out with blondes because I want to have fun, but I want to marry a brunette. Bullshit.
Right.
Okay.
Because I want a woman with a stable job and not it. Yeah, and like,
she needs to be emotionally stable.
Right. Like, I've never heard a dumb brunette joke before in my life. You know what I mean? And exactly. I've also never heard a redhead joke. Really? Like, oh no, that's not true. There's plenty of fucking redhead jokes. I mean, they say I'm gonna beat you like the redheaded stepchild.
Exactly.
And if you're a ginger listening to this, I'm so sorry that the world has made it so that you seem like a totally awkwardly weird person.
But and as far as hair length, it had absolutely no noticeable effect on how many times the woman got approached, whether she was blonde, a brunette, or a redhead. It didn't matter. So if you're thinking, well, guys like shoulder length hair more than pixie cut. Bullshit. It doesn't matter.
Right? Like, no, yeah. The reason you're not being approached, Susan, is not because your fucking hair is short. It's probably because you look like a bitch. Like, and that's probably one of the most honest things I've ever said in the world is that when you try to approach someone and they look like they're a total asshole, like, I'm not going to talk to you because, number one, I'm already scared to be rejected, but number two, it looks like you're going to look down on me. I think that's a big thing when it comes to what people find attractive. And I know that goes into non-physical traits, but I'm just saying, like, it's not the length of your hair.
And when we do get to non-physical traits, there is one particular thing, or I take that back. There's going to be two particular things that you can actually do that it's going to attract the guy's attention. And it has nothing to do with looks at all.
What?
Oh, yeah. Eye color has absolutely no bearing on the attractiveness.
None whatsoever.
Zero.
None. You know what it does though when it comes to eyes? You ever see somebody who wears those creepy fake contacts? That shit worries me. They wear those like.
I've done that. About 3 days ago. I was again at the grocery store. I was picking up some coffee. Of course, the grocery store is my favorite hunting ground. People, okay.
It's the only place I see women.
Yes. Lots of women. But I was sitting there, I walked down and I saw this girl from, like, as soon as I turned the aisle corner, I was like, my eyes just locked in. I was like, I'm going to talk to her. Okay, so I'll walk up, I'm standing there looking at the coffee, and make comments about coffee. And I open up and she turns towards me, and when I looked at her eyes, she had these fucking weird ass cat eyes.
I hate that shit, dude.
there was one orange cat eye, and the other one was like a blue star.
Burn it with fire. I hate people who wear shit like that. Like, you are not, it is not Halloween, okay? Like, I get it. You're gothy. You're into the dark shit.
Oh.
But come on, bitch. Like, you're a grown-ass human.
I took like 2 steps back, and I was like, what the I looked at it and I go, what the fuck?
What's wrong with your eyes? Yeah, it's not, they do it to be interesting and stand out, but really just scaring children at this point. Like, it's terrible. I mean, and it's just not our scene, I guess.
Yeah, my conversation with her lasts for about maybe another 20 seconds after that. I got my coffee and I left. But
would you like to go to church with me? You're a demon.
Yeah, I mean, it just freaked me the fuck out. I was like, what the fuck?
I don't like that shit, man. I don't like those creepy fucking contacts. They scare the shit out of me. Because number one, I can't even trust you if I don't know your eye color. Like, if you're hiding your eye color, what the fuck else are you hiding from me? But number two, no. It's just, it's not a thing. Stop it.
I mean, it's fine if we're going to a costume party or
right, it's Halloween.
Or if I was introduced to you and you had weird ass contacts, but yeah, when I'm just
walking
walking
your natural eyes.
I don't know if any human has natural eyes or natural cat eyes.
I was going to say, I have natural eyes. My eyes are pretty much the ones I was born with. Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Like, but some people have like one green eye, one blue eye. That's not weird.
No, my eyes actually change color.
Yeah, that's not weird. What's weird is fucking.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on the time of day. Because
orange cat eyes.
Yeah, I have blue on the outside and green on the inside. So if it's really bright outside, my eyes kind of look either green or seafoam. But if I'm indoors and it's not that much light, it will look blue. So it's just one of those things. But I did know a girl, and she actually, one of her eyes was brown and blue. It actually, right down the middle, it actually changed color. Yeah, oh yeah, it was very interesting. I had a crush on her for a long time.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah. But what's not awesome is orange eyes. One orange, one purple eye, because it's uncomfortable to look at, and I don't like it. And if that's your gig, that's your gig. By all means, I would never not be your friend, but I would never approach you for a date.
There's a whole group of people out there that's what they're into. So, not saying don't do it. There's somebody out there for you. It just might take you a little bit longer to find. Okay?
Right.
Okay, so towards the end of this study, what have we got so far as physical traits are concerned?
Nothing matters. That's what I've pulled from this.
Yeah.
What matters is you finding someone who is attracted to you and you being attracted to them back. There's no real formula.
Yeah, there's no one anything as far as the scientific evidence that is currently out there. You can go to our website. We've got the entire thing up there. It's got all the links to all the studies. If you want to go look at them. But as far as what guys find attractive in women, do you look healthy and are your features proportional? That's it. That's it. That's it. There's nothing else.
And I think it's beautiful. And I think it's wonderful how simplistic that is. Like, what do you really find? When it comes down to it, what do you want? I want someone who's healthy, and I want someone who is maybe, who is proportionate.
Yeah. I mean, they aren't 5'2" and have triple F boobs.
Right.
I mean, there's a guy out there that wants that, but
right.
But still,
and he's probably like some 6 foot tall weirdo. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the thing is there's no definitive, and I love that the study kind of proves that. All you want is someone who, if you're a woman, you want someone who looks like they can take care of you, who's strong, who gives you that sense of protection. If you're a man, you want someone who looks like she can give birth because she gives you that motherhood sense, and it's very caveman.
Yeah, I mean, really, the only thing that you could possibly do, according to all the research that's out there, the only thing that a woman can really do to increase her attractiveness is wear less makeup. That was it.
Yeah, right. Be more yourself. So if you want to be hotter, just be yourself. Like that's, I mean, like I said, I think that's such a great point to humanity is like, we aren't as shallow as most people aren't as shallow as they pretend to be, and most people are not falling for the ploy of what makes someone beautiful. You kind of just, what you find attractive in somebody, and you're happy with it.
Because there are so many sites out there, and so much this and so much that. And, if you look at Scarlett Johansson and you break her face down, and there's the 5 formula, and if you take a look at this actress or this model, here it's the 5 formula. Bullshit. I mean, really, it's bullshit. Otherwise, guys wouldn't marry anybody because that's what they're looking for.
It's so funny because, Scarlett Johansson is very attractive, but I have met plenty of people who are like, I'm not really into her like that. You know, like,
well, it's kind of like when everybody was into Kim Kardashian. I mean, everybody was like, oh, Kim Kardashian, she's so hot, she's so this, and I'm looking at her, I'm like, she looks plastic.
Right? Like, I'll take a Barbie. I don't give a fuck. Like, yeah, exactly. Yes. And that's the truth. And I think when we talk about people like the Kardashians, like, she was literally sculpted, and I mean that in like the most literal sense, to the point where she is so plastic surgeryed out that she's been sculpted to look like what we assume a perfect woman is, and it sort of backfired. Well, no, it did not backfire for her. She's like literally dripping in millions right now. But it backfired, or it helped people realize that this isn't necessarily what I think is perfect. She's not really that good looking.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't find her that good looking. And there's been plenty of major stars that rose to Hollywood fame, and everybody went gaga over them. And I'm looking at them, and I'm like, I really don't care for it. And I was called nuts and crazy by every guy on my ship. They're like, are you fucking nuts?
I don't know. It comes down to, when you see someone attractive, are they a person? You know what I mean? Like, especially when it comes to celebrities, anybody with $350 million can be sculpted into the perfect human. But when I look at you, I mean, call me crazy, but a little imperfection is wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, and there were Hollywood starlets and everything else, and I look at them and I'm like, okay, she's attractive. And other guys just like, what the fuck is attractive about her?
It's the Hilary Swank debate, man. Hilary Swank is the most debated looking woman in high school not in high school, sorry, in Hollywood, because she's so ambiguously, she's so human looking. She looks so real and like a person that people are like, I can't really tell if she's hot or not. And it's a very heated debate between Hilary Swank.
Yeah. And I mean, but that's the point, is that there's no clear empirical evidence that any kind of mathematical whatever, or this, that, and wear the color red and bright red lipstick and whatever color hair and length of hair and all this other stuff that is shoved at us through tabloid magazines and what this person is wearing this week, wear this and you'll get the guy. It's all bullshit. It really is. Because what guys are actually looking for, well, less makeup. And do you look healthy? Do you take care of yourself? And are you proportionate? That's it.
It's that simple. It's that simple.
It's that simple. Here. So if you're looking for clear, this is what you need to do, you're going to need to listen to the next show, because that is what we're going to get into, the non-physical side. What are guys really looking for, and what really makes you attractive?
Yeah, that's all we're going to do.
Yep.
Anything else, John?
Nope, that is pretty much it.
All right.
And we will catch you on the next one.
That's all for this episode of the Girls Ask Guys show, where all of us learn to master this thing called life together. For more answers to your questions on life and love, be sure to subscribe to the show so you don't miss a single episode. And head to girlsaskguyshow.com to submit your questions for a future episode, or apply to be a guest on the show. Good luck out there, and we'll catch you next time, right here on the Girls Ask Guys show.